Okay, your favorite math teacher just made two videos for you. Just spend about half an hour, 45 minutes making those. Want to watch one and found out the sound didn't work right. So I'm going to make another one. And this one is your 8.2b, which I'm just going to go through what I already wrote down because I already wrote it down for you. This will make it shorter and sweeter. This is the definitional part of 8.2, which is on polygons. And polygons are many-sided figures. So the basic ones are your three-sided figure. And again, excuse me for going through these fast, but I will be sending you the notes. Three-sided figures are called triangles, tri meaning three. You have some basic triangles you should be familiar with. The first one is the right triangle. A right triangle has one right angle. The next one is your acute triangle. Acute triangle, all the angles are less than 90 degrees. So again, I remember it because it is a acute triangle. If the angles are bigger than 90 degrees, we call that an obtuse triangle. One of the angles has to be bigger than 90 degrees. Then there's some other definitions that they tend to overlap. A scalene triangle, let's move that up so you can see it, is a triangle where no angles or sides are equal. So that one here is a scalene triangle. It was also an obtuse triangle. This one is the one I didn't know how to spell, so it's misspelled. It's an isosceles triangle. An isosceles triangle is one where two sides and only two sides are equal. If all three sides are equal, it is called an equilateral triangle. All three sides are equal. That one's an equilateral triangle. All three sides are equal. They put a little line through them to show that they're equal. By the way, all three angles are also equal. If you have a four-sided figure, a four-sided figure is called a quadrilateral. Every year when I teach this, students will say, oh, four-sided figure is a rectangle or four-sided figure is a square. Those are examples of four-sided figures. The generic definition of a four-sided figure is a quadrilateral. And the way I can remember that is when I was in college, there was a place on the college where there were dorms on two sides and the student center on the other side and the street that went in front of the dorms here, and we referred to that as the quad. And so if I said, hey, I'll meet you at the quad, everybody knew that that was that quadrilateral shaped area. A square is a quadrilateral where all four sides are equal and all the angles are right angles. Okay, so it's important to recognize that not all five-sided figures are squares. So this figure here is called a rhombus. It has four equal sides, but there's not right angles. Whereas a baseball diamond has four equal sides and all the angles are right angles, so it is a square. Okay, so we got those basic shapes. Then our next one, very common, is the rectangle. It's four sides, four right angles, but opposite sides are parallel. Okay, and so that's got the four right angles. And so these two sides are equal, and these two sides are equal. They're also parallel. Um, and then a parallelogram, students often describe that as a rectangle that somebody shoved over. That is what it looks like, but that's not what it is. It's basically two pairs of sides are parallel. So it does kind of just look like a rectangle that somebody pushed. A trapezoid has only one set of parallel sides. And then if you end up, that looks kind of like a triangle, I tried to draw that earlier. If you end up with a four-sided figure that doesn't fit any of those definitions, we just call that a quadrilateral. It's a four-sided figure, but it doesn't fit any of the other definitions. So a trapezoid, going back, I went through that pretty fast, only has one set of parallel sides, and it does not necessarily have any equal sides. It might, but it doesn't have to. Okay, five-sided figure is a pentagon, and I think I tried to draw that there earlier. That's the Pentagon in Washington, D.C. It is a five-sided building, for one side for each of the branches of our military, and then the center section is open, but it's also five-sided, And so a person can go across the middle to get from one side to the other, or they can go around. There's offices on both sides. I believe it's also 5 stories. You might want to look up a picture of the Pentagon in your Google Images. And then an 8-sided figure is a stop sign. Okay, so those are your basic shapes. Some of the basic ones, like the rectangle, you'll see a lot of directional street signs are rectangles. Yield signs tend to be triangles. Children crossing sign tends to be pentagons. And of course, all stop signs are octagons. So, wow, cut 5 minutes out of that video. Let's see if we can hear.